afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to TAM on Channel 8. I'm Marcus, and today's topic is the Bay of Pigs invasion. The invasion began on April 15th and only lasted about 3 days. The plan of attack was to train 1,400 Cuban exiles in May of 1960 in Guatemala by members of the CIA with President Eisenhower's approval. The goal for the rebels was to overthrow the communist regime of Fidel Castro with the help from the U.S., who supplied arms to the rebels. Personnel and weaponry were in place in bases in Florida, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. The CIA drew up these plans based on a previous success in dispensing with a pro-communist regime in Guatemala. Joining me now are world history analysts Duran and Tobias. The first question is for Tobias. What was the main cause that led the U.S. into the Bay of Pigs?
The main cause of the Bay of Pigs is the leadership in Cuba. The United States and the Cuban exiles are unhappy with the Cuban rule. Also, conflict and friction grew between Cuban citizens and the United States government.
Thank you. And the next question is for Duran. How could the U.S. been more successful in helping the rebels win?
The U.S. could have been more successful if they would have properly trained the rebels and would have provided reinforcements. The rebels went in blind with no U.S. troops behind them. The attack was also ruined because Cuba knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
And next question is for Tobias. Who was involved with the invasion?
The United States and its Cuban exiles were on the offensive and invaded Bahia de Cochinos, also known as the Bay of Pigs, which is on the southern coast of Cuba. The United States forces consisted of about 1,400 Cuban exiles. The United States invaded looking to take down Fidel Castro and his forces.
Okay, and Duran, approximately how long did the invasion last?
During the 3-day invasion, approximately exiles captured during the 3-day invasion, and the invasion was humiliating for the U.S. for how many casualties and exile captured. There were approximately 157 casualties during the 3-day invasion. There were about 1,000 captured exiled Cubans during the invasion also. This invasion was humiliating for the U.S. because of how many captures and casualties.
Alright, now Tobias, what was the United States' main goal of the invasion?
The United States and the CIA developed a plan for the invasion. The CIA's plan was to give the illusion that a group of Cubans were dissatisfied with Castro's rule. So, the U.S. sent Cuban exiles to the southern coast of Cuba to cause a national uprising, which the CIA thought would lead to the downfall of Fidel Castro's rule.
And now, last question is for Duran. How was the American government able to acquire the captured rebels?
The U.S. government retrieved the captured rebels by paying Fidel Castro $58 million in financial aid and supplies.
And joining me live now in Havana, Cuba is Thomas.
Hey Marcus, I'm here at the U.S. Embassy in Havana, Cuba, where Communist leader Fidel Castro is meeting with U.S. leader Barack Obama. This has been the first peace talks with our neighbor to the southeast.
So the first question is, how are the relations between Cuba and the United States?
To this day, Cuba and America do not have diplomatic relations, and this includes travel restrictions as well. It is legal for U.S. corporations to do business with Cuba, and the U.S. pays Cuba annually to operate and lease a naval base at Guantanamo Bay.
And how does Fidel Castro feel about America?
Referring to America, Fidel once said, "I find capitalism repugnant. It is filthy, it is gross, it is alienating. It causes war, hypocrisy, and competition." Fidel Castro continues to favor communism over any American political view.
How did Fidel Castro remain in control of Cuba?
Fidel stayed in power for almost 47 years, obtaining his power by leading a band of guerrillas and seizing power from Fulgencio Batista. Castro has refused to respect civil liberties and ruled Cuba with an iron fist until the day he gave up his power to his brother in 2006.
And the last question is, do you foresee an agreement between Cuba and the U.S. anytime soon?
With the way communication has been going recently, I don't think talks will resume anytime soon.
Okay, thank you for your input, Thomas.
Anytime, Marcus.
We're now joined by Thomas live in the studio along with Ron and Tobias. So what are your guys' views or opinions on the Bay of Pigs invasion?
Well, I believe the United States government and the CIA should have sent U.S. reinforcements to aid the Cuban exiles.
My opinion on the Bay of Pigs is that the government should have never been involved in this situation or should have thought this through before attacking Cuba.
To add on to Duran said, the U.S. should have never been involved, and hopefully serious peace talks will happen soon. They will benefit both countries, and in the near future we may even become allies.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Tobias.
I'm Duran.
I'm Thomas.
And this is Channel 8 News.
Breaking news here in Havana, Cuba. America has attacked a naval base in South Havana, and they shot. Oh my God! This is bad. This is really bad. Ah! They're firing! Ah!
This has been breaking news from KPRC Local 2 News. We now rejoin our regularly scheduled program already in progress.